What's quack-a-lacking, guys? I'm with that Quack here, and welcome back to another investment video on the channel. So this one's just going to be a simple little video that's based around the tours at the moment. So far we've seen the European Tour, the South American Tour, we've also seen the North American Tour, and we've also seen the African Tour. So what does this suggest that they're going to be releasing? Well, it's fairly obvious that they're doing the continents. So far we've seen 4 out of the 7 potential continents, alongside Australia, Antarctica, and Asia remaining. Now, it's very unlikely 2 of those are going to be included on their own. So that leaves us with predominantly Asia, alongside Australian, maybe New Zealand players to invest in. So what are going to be the big teams they're going to use? Are they going to do just one huge one with gold players needed, or are they going to mix it up? Now, this is where things get interesting. So if we think about the countries that are in Asia, we've got the likes of Vietnam, we've got the likes of China, Israel, Pakistan. These teams aren't going to have enough players to make a full team. Not that you always need a full team worth of players, but there's going to have to be enough to suit demand, basically. So what I'm going to be looking at for my personal investments are going to be teams that have got enough players, and predominantly enough gold players, because as we saw with the likes of Uruguay, the price of such players absolutely skyrocketed when those were released, and we want to be in a position where we can invest in them early and just cash out for maximum value. So as you can see here, the first nationality we're going to be looking at is going to be Japan. Now, there are tons of Japanese players here that are gold. We've got strikers, we've got CDMs, left mids, right mids, centre attacking mids. We are not short of options here. Even Okazaki from Leicester. There's just more than enough players. And the best thing is, look at this. This guy's not even selling for his discard value. We can literally invest in these guys, and it carries absolutely no risk to us. These are the best kind of investments, because even if we get it completely wrong and the countries we choose or the players we choose aren't required in the marquee matchups, then what do we lose? We don't lose anything whatsoever. That's my kind of investment. It's going to be the same for a couple of others. So I think South Korea potentially. This could also be one. It's probably going to be under K, isn't it? Let's just check if it's under this. Korea could be one that's got quite a few players. Maybe not quite as many as Japan, but we should have enough. So yeah, we've got quite a few again. I can see 4 already, 5, 6. There'll be enough Korean players for them to potentially do this. Now, again, with this, we can pick them up for literally no risk. If we go for the ones that, well, we've got the Bundesliga left back from Dortmund, and then we've got Son, who's a little bit inflated. Apart from that, though, there are tons of other players. Looking at it, actually, there's only about 5 or 6, isn't there? There aren't millions, but the good thing with the Korean players is they may not all have to be gold. So if we look at silver players from Korea, we have got an absolute shed load of them, basically. And then when we move on to bronze as well, there are a ton. So it makes sense to pick up the highest rated, the gold ones, because they're going to technically be the most valuable, because they're going to boost ratings so easily. There's going to be so many bronze and silver Korean players that people can mix into this to get the rating that they need, that it just doesn't make sense to pick up bronze ones or other rarities when we can get gold ones for basically discard. If we're keeping it inside Asia at the moment, it's very hard to find many countries, apart from those 2, that perhaps have got a big player base on this game that are gold rated. I mean, China, as far as I can remember, there's a couple of gold players, but that may be about it. There's not even one, unless there's a different China. There's the China PR and China something, I don't even know. But there's just not enough Chinese players to make it worthwhile going for the golds. That's why I'd go for the Korean players and predominantly the Japanese players. We have got the likes of Saudi Arabia as well, which obviously have a squad builder challenge around them at the moment in their league. But the problem with them is that they are mainly bronze and silver again. Well, mainly bronze, to be honest. There's literally no golds on the market. If we search for the silvers, there's a handful, but then predominantly the bronzes. So again, we can invest in silver Saudi Arabian players, but I just prefer the gold discard ones, because if we get that right, we're going to be profiting massively. We also need to think about the Australia side of it. So Australia's going to have a few more. Not very many still, I don't think, gold players. Maybe only 2 or 3. So we've got Moy, Ryan. That may be all we have, actually. Just the 2. And then a couple of special cards as well. So picking up these guys. Oh, and Langerak. So maybe 3 gold players. Picking up those ones would give us a boost when we come to building the teams, because the rest of them fall in the silver and bronze category again. So it's just about thinking ahead, thinking about what the team ratings could be. If we pick up these gold players and they're needed, we could make an absolute fortune. If we get it wrong and they're not needed, we can sell them for discard value, which is what we bought them for anyway. So there is literally no risk involved. We can also be looking at bronze and silver players from the other teams I mentioned, the likes of Saudi Arabia, like I said. Then we've got the likes of, there's just so many different countries it could be, but I feel like EA are going to keep it big, like they have previously, like they have done with the other ones. And hence the first few countries, specifically Japan, just makes the most sense to me if we're investing in these. I can see them releasing this sometime this week as well, because it's been pretty much routine. It's been almost every couple of weeks. So some point this week, maybe after the marquee matchups, if not this week, the week after, when we don't have the Champions League and the marquee matchups, that could be another point where they'd release it. Anyway, guys, like I said, just a very short video. It's more of a reminder for you guys that this is going to be happening at some point, opposed to saying, let's go get those guys, and just getting you thinking about who it could be, what you think it could be, and maybe raising a discussion between us. So if you guys think that I've missed any huge countries out, or there could be more potential that I haven't spoken about, let me know down in the comments so that I can get myself some investments and everyone else watching can see a comment and debate your tips, talk to you about your tips, or just simply follow them. Anyway, guys, thanks so much again for watching. Make sure you drop a like, you subscribe if you're new, comment everything that you always do. And again, guys, I'll catch you next time.